All right, and we are back. And unfortunately, the other stream went out for some reason. I must have went at a different angle, and it caused it to go out. But now we are back here. So this is a cat from a different angle as he sleeps, and it is nice to have him here. And let's see if people are going to come in, which they will. All right. All right, and I see the other cat. He is over in the other, I see him in the back area, right here. That is pretty cool. I see behind me, there's another cat that is new. And we were previously live, but the live went out. So now we are at this one, and we're watching our cat friend sleep. Yes, I am back. Are you able to see me, Saw Girl? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, so I am back. And I see now two cats. And this is a nice scenery to see our cat friend rest. So, yeah. Definitely his markings are exotic, like the leopards. Yeah. Definitely it's similar to like a leopard. Of cats, yeah. Yeah. So there is one cat that is over in the other area that is wandering around. And he is a white cat with some black features. Like, I mean, not black features, but with some tabby features. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, definitely there's cats that like soft food more than wet food. It is a lot of cats will like the hard food better in some ways, but in other ways they like it for their teeth. They like their the soft food will be easier on their teeth and they seem to like it more, but other times the cats can be, more into the hard food. That's another thing about them. All right, and we are watching our feline friend sleep right here. And so definitely with, coyotes and those types of things, they give off very strange howls and shrieks a lot of times, but they will certainly like to, you know, go in packs a lot of times. That's a lot of those animals do. They go in packs and they like to go and, fight things. Sawgirl says, my cats like to eat carrots and broccoli, not totally raw, but kind of blanched enough for them to be able to chew with their teeth. They love it. Look at that right there. That's another cat. Right, and then we got, oh, that is so cool that your cat likes to eat carrots and broccoli. I am not even completely aware of cats eating that. That is so cool that they do. Yes, the little kitties are so cool. And yeah, I think with cats, they definitely like to. Hello, Phil. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. And hello, where are you from? I'm Germany. I'm King Tiger. Hello, Tonk. Hello, King Tiger. I am from the USA, and I have some of my ancestors were from Germany. By the way, nice to have you here. And we were watching some cats and animals, and we're watching our feline friend sleep. Sawgirl says it's. Yes, I said the country. I'm from the United States. That's the country. Yes. And I have a variety of different European ancestry, but the German ones came here in the 1800s. And Sarvo says, it's all in how you raise them and what you initially give them for snacks. If they don't know any better, that's okay with me. They don't always have to eat meat or fish. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I think the concept of giving cats those types of food is a very good idea. And it would be very delicious to go and have a cat eat those types of food. I just, broccoli and those types of vegetables are very healthy for them. I personally think that in some cat food, they have vegetables within them. And when they have, yeah, look at this cat. Yes. When they have vegetables, the cats, it's necessary for their health. Now, some cats, I think they primarily like to eat meat. And it is very good for them to have it. But other types of, is good too. Now, some cats like to eat fish, like some cooked fish or fried fish, I've heard they like that. Now, primarily we give them cat food, but yeah, they like to eat table food. Now, something else about cats is they love grass. And they will eat grass, but they kind of throw up, but it cleans out their system. But yeah, they love grass, but it causes them to throw up though. Yeah, I agree with you, Saul Grill. They don't always have to eat meat or fish. And the vegetables are good for them too. Oh, thank you, Tiger. I appreciate it. Yeah, so Saul Grill, that's a very good point, and a very creative and good opportunity for them to eat more things than just the regular food that they could eat. Meat and fish. And the vegetables is a good touch. That's what I've noticed. It's like a cat eats grass when their stomach is upset. Yeah, I guess it's some sort of a medicine or like mint to them. Yes, Keith. Hi, kitty. Yes. This is Claude. And he was running around earlier like he was a wild man. He was climbing up different trees. He was all over the place. And now he is taking a well-deserved sleep. Yeah, and I believe with cats is that they have a sixth sense when they're able to sense things that are going to happen before they do. And like they get into a position or they could do things that you can have all the time. Right. Briggs said now he's chasing tree rats in his dreams. Oh yeah, he's definitely chasing tree rats in his dreams. He is certainly all over the place in his dreams. You could tell when they're dreaming when they just kind of wrinkle their mouths and their whiskers. Yeah. And yeah, definitely he is dreaming. I can see that there. And he's rolling. He's rolling. I think I heard an owl for a second. Oh yeah, hello there, Saw Girl. Yeah, and cats will see a different mouse. I have not seen one of those tigers. Yeah, I have not seen one of those tigers before in person. I've seen them at the zoo. And oh, they'll be there in 1 hour hooting at 3 a.m. Okay. Yeah, and yeah, I think absolutely with the owls, as around this time of year in the trees, I'll hear them hooting, and that's what I was hearing a moment ago for a second. And Sawgirl says, "Is that German? You can read and understand it." So, Sawgirl, I might know a word or two in German. And exactly, Brig. I understand all languages. Yes, and I might know a word or two or so, but although as an alien I know all languages, as Brig said, the one I am more focused on is the one that I'm speaking. Yes, but my entire name is German, by the way. The first, middle, and last name is German. So yeah, if I heard it, I could kind of understand it. Yeah, it's because I've learned about it from when I was little, but as I said, English is the thing I predominantly listen and talk things in. Good question. And now he's cleaning himself. Okay, hello, David. Aliens will be arriving at 3 a.m. Dude, don't forget to zoom in. Aliens have a better Google Translator, man. Hilarious. Sand says, hello, everyone. Yeah, I definitely... hello, Sawgirl. Not Sawgirl. Hello, Sand. It is good to see you. Oh, yes, I saw a girl, right. And it seems like someone was looking for me earlier. Okay. And, yeah. Oh, Sand, yes. Oh, Sawgirl, what is up exactly? I don't know what is going on, but I'm glad that you're here, Saw Girl. And yeah, earlier, no, I was just talking to the, the person in the chat that said he's from Germany. I wasn't talking in the other language. I'm not too sure exactly what you mean, but I appreciate you being here. All right. Oh, okay, Saw Girl. I didn't notice them talking in German. I didn't notice it. And if you weren't talking to me, okay, okay, yeah, I didn't know they were talking. See, the chat goes so fast sometimes. I don't know. I didn't know they were talking in German. All right, understood. Okay, yeah, nice to meet you, Sangro. Okay, so yeah, and if whatever they said, I didn't even so Saw Girl, I didn't even know they were speaking in German or saw them at all. So yeah, that went over my head if that they were. So thank you for the information. Oh, okay, Saw Girl. Yeah, German will look a certain way. The different Dutch languages will, have different uh, apostrophes and stuff in their word letters and stuff. So it can be some sort of different Dutch languages can be interesting to detect. I understand. Yeah, Claude. Yeah, we are just watching the cat and talking about different things. All right. Okay, and other tank is speaking German, not saying anything offensive. Okay. Hello, Solid. Good to see you. Oh, you know what it does, chat? I think with the phone live on my end, it's translating it. It must be doing a translation thing on my end. Because the reason why I didn't notice them speaking German was because it doesn't register German on my end. That's why. I gotcha. Okay. That must be what it might be. I don't really know. But thank you, chat, for letting me know. Yeah. Yeah, I have top chat on, although I can't really access anything like that with the phone. What I see is the screen of the cat and the chat coming underneath, whatever comes through. Yeah. Oh, okay. On my end, it's showing everything in English. Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, because, yeah, Possum. Oh, thank you, Carlos, for the super chat of the sticker mood. I like that. The moon is covered. The moon is completely covered with clouds right now. Yeah, look, a sneaky possum is getting bold while Claude is asleep. Yes. And yeah, so basically with with this cat. And thank you, chat, for letting me know about what's going on. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, because I said everything on my end is coming in English. So if on y'all's end it's another language, it didn't register. It translated it automatically, I suppose, for me. Yeah, I didn't see any German, but thank you, chat, for letting me know. Yeah, I do know some of the German, yes, but everything on my end is coming in English. And yeah, and Sand says, it was beautiful the other night. I took screenshots of it and couldn't see it in Arkansas. Oh, okay, that's nice. That's nice. And yeah, let's see, I definitely do think it is a nice language, indeed. So with this cat, it is Claude has been awakened by the sneaky possum, and of course, with all of his nice colorings, and his spots are very nice with his stripes on his back. Now, what he might do, he might go and run around again, or he might just stay here. I am not entirely certain. Let's see. Yeah, the possum has awakened the beast. Yeah, you see, the cat woke up. And also, thank you for your thoughts, Saw Girl, about this. And I appreciate it. So, yeah, I definitely think a lot of times the possums don't always have banners. And they like to do things that they want to do, which I think is extremely, yes, it's a cat. Yes, an Italian kid. Yep, it's a cat. And the cat has been awakened by the Claude. Yeah, he's been awakened by Claude. And it is, see, those are his nice markings, his nice colors. You are a cat daddy. That is nice. That is nice. And a lot of times these animals like to scavenge around for different types of insects and things like that. And I think that it is good for the cats to, not be bothered by anything else that is there. Right? And okay, and with the cat right here, yeah, he is yawning. Oh, this cat is a boy. This cat is a boy. Yeah, he has places to go that are inside, but he's predominantly a outside cat. Like, there's places he can go that are outside. I mean, like, there's places he can go inside in, that he could go hide in. But he's predominantly an inside cat. I mean, he's predominantly an outside cat, but he can be inside too. Not inside the houses, but inside other regions. Right, and this is the cat zoomed out. So right now you could see the cat is in his entirety. Yeah, so this is the guard cat of the night. He likes to guard, and you got this possum right here that's being very, bit of a nuisance. Hello, Shelly G. Welcome to the stream. Gemix is the name of my UFO that I like to fly around. It's the name that, it's an alien name for that. That's what it is. Yes, that possum definitely is needs to leave the cat alone because he likes to walk around a lot. Yeah, very neat. Yes, indeed. Yeah, so with cats, a lot of times, yeah, the possum is very close, and he's scavenging and he's looking for different things. No, the possum is not really a pet. Yes, we feed the possums. My family feeds the possums, but they're not necessarily our pets. Like inside, no. But they're like outside pets that we feed. Yeah, we have quite a few of the possums around here, and yeah, sometimes the cats will get territorial and possessive about their different regions and their territories that they like. A lot of times, yes, possums are typically very nice, and they don't have rabies, and they're good for the environment and stuff like that. That is something else about them that is true. All right, now he's going somewhere. Now he's going somewhere. Okay, let's see what he's doing. Yeah, and also possums are good for the environment too. That's something else cool about them. All right, now he's on the prowl. He's on the hunt. Yes, Space Void, respect the cats. Matthew says, I'm about to go out for a bit, but I just want to say thanks for making me think cats, pets, domesticated aliens makes my morning a bit brighter, man. Oh, I'm glad to make your morning brighter. And thank you for the cool thoughts. And glad to make your day brighter. I appreciate the feedback. Have a good one. Oh, yeah, facts. Possums are pets in New Zealand. They are native birds. They delete the native birds like the kiwi. I didn't know that. I didn't know that they go after those. Wow. That is certainly messed up. I mean, I understand it's probably the circle of life, but in a way, I could see it being kind of messed up too. In a way. Uh-oh. Scared. Hilarious, Rusty. Yeah, cats in a way are like that. Now we're not gonna start fighting. Cats are not gonna start fighting. Have that. No, no. We're gonna be chill. You're gonna sit back there, and we're gonna let him go back in that direction. So a lot of times cats will like treats, and the treats that cats will get will will be will be very interesting. They will, you get a little bag of treats and give it to the cat, and they definitely enjoy it. And a lot of times they'll go and get more excited for that than the regular food. But it is important for cats to get it sometimes, but they're said it depends. Some cats like hard food, some cats like wet food. It just depends. But they definitely do like to eat overall, just regardless. Yeah, something about cats that I think are you see this cat right here, sometimes I have to correct them, put them in like timeout pretty much. I have to put these cats in time, like, like what I'm doing right now. I have to watch him so he doesn't go and chase the other cat off. And, that is deeply looking at the markings. Definitely cool markings. Scared. All right. And yeah, this is really cool. We have this right here. All right. So, chat. Do y'all have any cats of your own? And what experience do you have with them? Because I notice a lot of people will tell me that they have cats too, and they are just, they definitely rule the house. They do whatever they, they want to do. And they definitely want to go and sometimes go and nag a lot for their food, but they are very cute and they like to roll around and they like their tummy to be scratched. But a lot of times when you go and pet a cat's tummy, they'll go and bite you. That's what they will do. And because the thing with when they're on their back like that, it's more of a trap. Right? And now he is cleaning himself. Okay, and now he's going, uh-oh, see something. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. Hello, Claude. Where are you going, buddy? I go right now. I like hanging out with this cat. That's what I'm doing. All right, and Claude is off somewhere. He must be going to go find something. Okay, Carlos says, my Siamese is always beside me and lives for pets and attention from me, and the tortoiseshell cat is a character of her own, but she likes the attention. Oh yeah, definitely those cats, they will like the attention. And certainly will go out and do what they want. Like they'll be very nice and they're very manipulative but they do it in such a cute, seductive way that they win every time. Yeah, some cats like attention more and other cats don't. And yeah, because everyone is different. Rusty, I think that his prediction, the alien prediction that he has, I think is accurate. The about the alien conspiracy, or he's an alien conspiracy theorist about the prophecy thing. Yeah, I think it'll happen at some point. Yeah, I know of some people. It may happen later than it is thought, but it will. I think it may occur. We will see. Sometimes things are not. They don't happen. Sometimes they do. And Claude is off to another realm right now doing something. Okay. All right, and this right here is, some kind of a strange plant that likes to look like it's like a dandelion hybrid thing. And let's see, I taught the Siamese shake a paw and paint and pinky finger. Oh, I had a cat where I would put it on my shoulders and it would just kind of, rest on my shoulders and the back of my neck. So I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, definitely cats can do certain tricks and stuff. Yeah. Now, some cats have the catnip genes and others don't. Right? And because the reason why is that, some of them have a specific gene that activates it. Others do not have the gene. And when this occurs, you have some cats that are completely, you could say, immune to it. And let's see, any of the bandit puppies out here. Let's see. And yeah, so far there is no other cats or possums, raccoons, or anything like that. And that is really cool. Right. Might have heard a bird of some kind. Interesting. So, there are cats with they're very fluffy, and those are some of my favorite. The ones with the really longer hair. I like those a lot. And going over this way, there's Bubbles right here, and he is just chilling. I like that. Yeah, so I wonder if the cats are trying to look for each other or trying to cause a fight, because very mysterious they can be. All right, so we found our critter for the night. We see this cat lurking around. There we go. Yeah, Bubbles is a good boy. Right here. A shout out to Bubbles. It's not Bubbles the cat inside, it's Bubbles' brother. Yes. Yes. It's the brother of the cat in the picture. Yeah. Yes, Brig. And now you see another cat sighting in one night. Yeah, that is cool. I do hear the raccoons in the distance, but I don't see them. Scared. Right? And definitely is a peaceful cat. And that is what he likes. He likes to have a. He stands out like a sore thumb. That's what he'll do. Yes, the swamp puppies, yeah. He likes to stand out, and he looks like no one could see him, but we can see him. Yeah. Animal sightings tonight have been great. Just need to see some swamp bandit puppies. Yes, yes. That'll be cool to see. We will see him. We'll see them and that would be awesome to see. But right now, it seems that they are being quiet at the moment. Yeah, I like that emoji. Yeah. That's what they want you to think. They're sneaking up behind you right now. Scared. Yeah, scared. Yes, real Indiana. The cat is vlogging. We have a vlogging cat right now. He is doing good in the night. He says shout out the chat, and he's glad that chat is here. Yeah, so he likes to hang out and look for things, and he likes to sit around this peaceful setting right here. And yeah, because I'm hearing something. It's probably the different trees moving around, but I'm hearing other noises, and I'm thinking it might be the other banded puppies. The swamp banded puppies. Yeah. You know, it could be up in a tree, something like that. Yeah. So he's a, you know, I like to call him like a snow cat, basically. Yeah, and I like how he's looking over in that direction. Sometimes you might see, because I tell you, these cats can sense and see things that we cannot always sense and see, because there's nothing there, but he kind of like senses something. Now he knows we're here, which is something pretty cool, but he is not completely aware of the other factor about it, like, you know, what else is lurking in the shadows. Yeah, and this is Bowles' brother, and he is enjoying the stream because he's a cat vlogging. His name is Bowles' brother. That's what my family named him. But his other names are like Snowball. And, yeah. And Sugar. Yeah, those are his two names. You know, like Sugar, Snowball. But his main name is Bowles' brother. No, Brig. Bowles' brother. He is the twin of the cat. So the one that's inside, he is his twin. Yeah, the cat's definitely in deep thought. That's true. He's probably thinking about his next move, his next meal, something like that. So yeah, Bubbles' brother out here is the outside one, and there's an inside one in my house. And, you know, he's his twin, pretty much. Oh, thank you, Carlos, for the nice dono. I appreciate it. I like that sticker. Nice sticker. Yeah, so sometimes he will get in fights with Claude, and they will square up with each other. And a lot of times when that happens, it can be really cringe for the whole awkward moment. That's what it'll be, you know, a whole awkward moment of cringe. Yeah, you see, that is an issue here. Is that a lot of times the cats will get territorial and they want to keep the land for themselves, and they don't want to try to collaborate and cooperate and get along. And that's something that I think that is and a nuisance sometimes, certainly, because they'll like be in trees or they'll be in the ground, they'll get low and they'll go try to attack each other, and it'll be like from Timu. It's Timu cats. Usually when a new cat comes in, they will like to go and take over the different spot. Like a new cow come in and just want to go chill and be friends, and then these cats will come in and go and meow and act all defensive, but eventually they just accept it and let the other cat in. Eventually they just have a moment of acceptance. Yeah, because the other white cat with some black, some tabby in it with some stripes, that one is the newest cat around here that is being kind of singled out. I do hear something moving around. Yeah, the one we saw earlier was the separate one, was the other cat. The newer one that we're seeing. This one is just a white cat, plainly. Yeah, something else is moving around. I just don't see it at the moment. So yeah, all the cats are just all over the place. Okay, and looking at this way with the broccoli, it's looking pretty good as it's coming up. We had some nice rain recently, and that is a giant onion, which is pretty cool. Yeah, those are coming out good. Yeah, I'm hearing something in the tree. As I said, I heard a faint owl earlier, but nothing else so far, owl-wise. Just lots of moving branches and some things that are in the trees lurking. Yeah, noise. Yes, noise. Yes. I think it's interesting about the idea of raccoons becoming more domesticated over time, because it is eventually going to be happening. You know, they're getting closer and closer to humans and being okay with humans. And that is a sign that over time they're going to become more accustomed to us. Bubbles he likes, okay, the outside Bubbles is very chill. The inside Bubbles can be kind of bossy. That's what he mainly is. He's a bossy cat. Yeah, and these are coming out pretty good. There's some cats that have lots of swirls on them, in circular swirls, which I think is pretty cool. And we had a cat like that before a couple years ago, many years ago. And yeah, I think those exotic markings are very fascinating. Okay, and seeing if there's any snails lurking around. I don't see any at the moment. Okay. Not over here generally. I like dogs too. My family has had different types of dogs, and different parts of my family had different types of dogs, and some of them are kind of wild and others are more calm. I prefer more of the calmer ones. Like Max, the dog, was very nice and calm. I liked him. And a lot of times it depends on the owners and the types of pets that they have and stuff like that. And I think that, as I said, pets have a spiritual ability and spiritual sensors that are, known. And I think they have other abilities too to help their human, and they have lots of. I think cats have helped detect heart attacks and health issues before too. The rain is kind of coming soon, so we'll be continuing this inside, but we'll still be on the phone live. Okay. Probably will be starting changing the settings now. I'm still here. It's going to be kind of dark for a moment. We're not going just yet. Not going just yet. But we are just kind of changing settings. Okay, Brig, I see you. I'm not ending the live stream. Uh-oh. Sounds like a fight. Is it a fight? Let's see. Hey, hey. Don't do that. Don't do that. They're up in a difficult spot. Psst, 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 psst. Well, I can't go up there where they are, so we'll go over this way. As I said, they're trying to fight, and I can't access that area. So, because it's up high, I don't want them to fall. So, we'll continue, as I said, going in the house and continuing it over there. All right, and going in oh yeah, so those are some other plants, by the way. And we'll be, as I said, still here, but it's going to be dark for a moment. Here we go. All right, here I am, and this is my pirate hat that I use. I use it usually during the times when when it's kind of raining outside. I put this pirate hat on because it would definitely help with the weather when it's raining on me. Let's see. Okay, and yeah, that was pretty cool seeing the different cats, different animals. And going over here. All right, so as we usually do around this time, we're going to get into some different cryptids. Let's go this way. Let's see. Thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate it. Okay, and here we go. See, and then we get into some sightings of USOs from underwater. That would be also a good one to look into. Alaska's vast, rugged wilderness is a primary setting for legends of unknown creatures. These cryptids typically range from ape-like humanoids to ancient sea serpents, many deeply rooted in indigenous Tlingit, Yupik, and Inupiaq folklore. The hairy man. This is an ape-like humanoid cryptid. Alaska's version of Bigfoot often describes as standing over 10 feet tall, with a foul smell, and Inuit legend, they are known as the Torinit, a giant race that once lived peacefully alongside humans until a conflict drove them into the wilderness. The Kushintaka, a shape-shifting land otter man from the Tlingit folklore. They are said to mimic the cries of women and children to lure people toward the water and steal their souls and drown them. The Irisinrat, the little people, small mischievous humanoid spirits from the Yupik traditional view is they are believed to live in invisible dimensions or underground and can disorient travelers, leading them to despair. Yeah, definitely something very eerie to come across. The lake monster, the Illy, a large 10 to 30-foot creature spotted in Lake uh, Ilamana. Witnesses describe it as having a whale-like body with a shark-like dorsal fin. Some speculate it could be massive Pacific sleeper shark. The 15-foot sea serpent with a wolf-like head. Yes. Yeah, thank you, Tyler. Yeah, definitely shapeshifters. Yeah, they are often seen as wolf-like. Yeah, the tic-tac video. We'll go over that, Lindsay. Yeah, definitely with the tic-tac video, um, or dogs. Yeah, and the Quolipalik is an aquatic creature with green, scaly skin and long hair that lives under sea ice. It carries an amuletic baby carrying pouch to kidnap children who wander too closely to the water's edge. The Kelut's hairless black dog, like spirit, from Inuit mythology that preys on travelers at night. Its tracks are said to be suddenly disappear, leaving victims with no warning of its presence. The Thunderbird, an enormous avian creature encrypted, capable of creating a thunder with wings and shooting lights from its eyes. Legends claim it's large enough to carry away a killer whale. Saber wolf, a massive wolf from the Inuit legend, reported to be large enough to decapitate victims in a single bite. Okay, and going this way, let's see. Oh, you're not familiar with it. Okay, yeah. Those are some cryptids that are from Alaska. Every day since the 80s, someone has gone missing in Alaska. Yeah, yeah, definitely. All right, so yeah, that is very interesting, Tyler. Very interesting. All right, the Tic Tac video, officially titled the FL. Yeah, and I wonder if it has to do with these types of cryptids. Definitely, I I definitely think that could be a possibility. The Tic Tac video, officially the FLIR-1, refers to a 2004 encounter between U.S. Navy pilot and unidentified aerial phenomenon (UAP). Oh yeah, possibly Tyler. Possibly yes. Yes. Yeah, who knows? It could be from the polar bears. It that's another possibility. It could be. I mean, not the police do investigation. All right, and Lindsay said, but I mean, it's not the police do investigations, and every day somebody's missing and they don't know where. Yeah, it's like you gotta wonder where those people are exactly. They could be pretty much anywhere, and that's why it's good to know what can be. Yeah, I find it very interesting too, because you don't even know where somebody is. You know, yeah. Yeah, and Alaska is such a large wilderness, you may not even know exactly where they would be. Yeah. I don't doubt it, Tyler. I don't doubt it. I have some people I know up there. Yeah. It's interesting and questionable exactly what is the reason they're going missing or why. Yeah. All right. Now, about the Tic Tac video, the FLIR-1 refers to a 2004, but it's still USA, and I would imagine all the laws are the same. No, all the laws are the same across the US, and they all enforce them and do it differently. That's something else about them that's true. Hello, Frank. Hello, Frank. Welcome to the stream. First, to a 2004 encounter between U.S. Navy pilots and unidentified aerial phenomena (UAP) off the coast of Southern California. While it is often discussed alongside other mysterious sightings, this specific incident took place roughly 100 miles southwest of San Diego. Visual contact pilots Commander David Fravor, Lieutenant Commander Alex Durech were derived investigate a radar contact. They observed a 40-foot long white oblong object resembling a large breath mint hovering over a churning patch of white water in the ocean. Yeah, that is all you could do, Tyler. And sometimes they can't find evidence or leads about something, and other times they can find evidence and leads about something. It, depends on the situation. But yeah, it happens every day. Exactly. Impossible fight when the Fravor attempted to intercept an object mentioned in his monitored movements, but before accelerating instantaneously and disappeared like a bullet. The video of a second crew, including pilot Chad Underwood, eventually captured an object infrared targeting pod. This footage shows that the wingless craft hovering before it suddenly zips off the side of the screen high speed. All right, I heard some of these crafts are large as a football field. Yes, especially the ones in the water. There's the USOs that are underwater, and they could be the size of a football field. Oh, thank you, Brig. I appreciate it. Yeah, they could be completely the size of a football field, and they're underwater. Military sensors and pilot testimony highlighted several anomalous traits. No propulsion. The object lacked wings, rotors, and visible exhaust plumes. Lindsay said moving that fast and large is scary. Yeah, absolutely very terrifying. It was tracked descending from 80,000 feet in the sea level in seconds and maneuvering in ways that defy known aerodynamics. Electromagnetic interference. Pilots reported that the object actively jammed their radar systems, contributing 20,000 unsolved disappearances in the state since the 70s with the Taurus Alaska Triangle. That's another thing. High majority of them are within the triangle, which is a huge, but still. Let's look at the Alaskan Triangle. Let's see what that's about. The Alaskan Triangle is a loosely defined region where more people go missing per capita every everywhere else on Earth, roughly twice the national average. Since the early 70s, an estimated of 20,000 people have vanished within the borders. The triangle 3 points typically connect the southwest, the southeast, and formerly the northern part. Grounded in scientific explanations, experts and skeptics point to the region's extreme physical characteristics as primary cause of disappearance. Treacherous terrain. The area covers roughly 20,000 square miles of dense boreal forests, jagged mountain peaks, and massive glaciers. Supernature. Glaciers are filled with hidden crevices and caves that can easily swallow a person or a downed aircraft, which in which then quickly buried by constant snow squalls. And those glaciers are something else. All right, magnetic declination. Unusual magnet activity in Alaska can compasses to be off by as much as 30 degrees, easily leading hikers or pilots off course. Wildlife, large populations. Let's see. Okay, Art, thank you. Thank you. I think I've seen parts of it already, but I'll go check it out. Thank you. Thank you, dude. All right, and wildlife. Large populations of bears and other predators pose a significant threat to those stranded or traveling solo. Hail and bogs. And Nick Begich. And the most famous incident involving a Cessna 310 carrying the U.S. House Majority Leader and Alaska's representative, despite the largest search and rescue mission in U.S. history, not a single piece of debris was ever found. And Douglas C-54D, a military transport plane carrying 44 people, vanished without a distress call. No wreckage has ever been found, recovered despite decades of investigation. Energy vortexes. Some believe that the area contains violent vortexes of electromagnetic energies that can disrupt electronic equipment and human perception, possibly opening portals to another dimension. So these are some paranormal theories. Oh, thank you, Richard. Thank you. And shout out to you, Richard. Yeah. He is a beautiful cat indeed. Indigenous folklore. Oh, thank you, Mike. I like wearing this pirate hat, and then when it rains or whatever, it's like a gutter system. Indigenous folklore. The native Tlingit legends warn of Kushtaka, a shape-shifting otterman that lures lost travelers onto the wilderness to steal their souls. All right. And Tyler says the magnets messing up, I assume, certain metals of Earth's crust or electromagnetic storms, but I don't know, could be paranormal dimensional stuff. That would be cooler. Yeah, and maybe there's a scientific explanation. They're both linked together. Yes, Mike. Yes, Mike. Seriously, like, I read that the sailors, that the reason why they wore these hats back in the day on the high seas was because the water would just go through the and just drop off like a gutter. Ah, I see the Joker. Very interesting philosophical statement. Okay, let's see the scientists. Let's see the scientific data and paranormal data. I do not take psychedelics, no. Oh, you saw the light. Yeah, I've talked about that on the show before. And astral projection, people do have that. And the sleep paralysis, those two things are real phenomenons people do experience. Oh, thank you, Mike. Thank you. I a lot of the people I talk to in different streams, you know, do stuff like that, or they some of them I know some stoners and stuff that are cool people. So yeah, I'm around like different chat rooms of people that probably do that stuff. So, but personally myself, I'm just naturally as an alien, just drugs in general would be like a natural high. Uh, yeah, but thank you. Yeah, I definitely am abstract. And Tyler says there is so much more than physical. I found out at least. Yeah, and I do believe there's a spiritual realm and there's things like that out there that can coincide with those things that they're linked. Tyler said, but floating out your body isn't just normal, but we can do it somehow. I did it once. Yeah, I believe people can do that. It's possible. All right, this is the scientific data about Alaska. Okay. Magnetic declination. The differences between the true north magnetic is the region can vary up to 30 degrees. This is significant enough to lead experienced pilot and hikers off the course if they rely solely on traditional compasses. Geomagnetic disturbances. Activity from the northern lights and geomagnetic storms can further disrupt electronic equipment and radio communications. LIDAR geology. Recent LIDAR surveys have identified fractured granites and basalt formations that some researchers suggest could naturally amplify local electromagnetic fields. Oh, I mean, I don't accept the mainstream narrative a lot. I believe the conspiracy theories are probably more accurate. It's probably something supernatural, but this is the mainstream narrative about it, which I'm sure it probably has truth to it. You know, infrasound, deep subterranean voids and volcanic activity may generate infrasound and low frequency vibrations that, while inaudible, are known to induce feelings of dread, disorientation, or hallucinations. Well, that's where North kind came from. Where the fourth kind came from. Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely would be a perfect setting for it. I don't know if the Shining came from there. I have to look that up. I don't know. And these are the paranormal signs. Now, I'll see if that's true, Tyler. I'll see in a moment if that is the case. All right. Paranormal science. Staggering number of missing person cases, over 20,000 since 1970s, has led to numerous supernatural theories. Energy vortexes. A popular theory suggests that the region sits on a vial of vortexes or portals where concentrated electromagnetic energy is so intense it can supposedly warp time, space, or human perception. All right, because I know it was a hotel and it wasn't an organ. Okay, thank you. All right, energy vortexes. Popular theory suggests the region sits on a vial of vortexes or portals where concentrated electromagnetic energy is so intense that it can supposedly warp time, space, or human perception. Dark Pyramid and urban legend claims. Massive underground pyramid is located at the Triangle Center. Believers argue that it was built on an ancient civilization and acts as powerful emergency source that causes local navigation failures. UFO hotspot. Alaska consistently reported a higher number of UFO sightings per capita than other states. Notable reports, such as Japan Airlines Flight 1628 in 1986, involved pilots witnessing multiple crafts performing impossible maneuvers that were later verified radar. Spiritual gateways, indigenous Tlingit oral histories. You've been snowboarding there. That's cool. Yeah, definitely stay safe. It seems like it's a some sketchy regions in there. Spiritual gateway. Indigenous believe that spiritual gateway and shape-shifting entities who lure people away, steal their own souls, and drown them. Makes me wonder if anyone has time traveled but couldn't come back. Yeah, I think there's possibility that there's some vlogger on IG that's allegedly a time traveler, but it could be some AI generated content. But yeah, I think that the time traveler theory, it's possible they couldn't come back here and they're just stuck in whatever time they were in. That's possible. Or that there's a portal or a stargate that leads to some other realm that they weren't able to come back from. There's some theories that some aliens are time travelers. All right, the high rate of disappearances in Alaska, roughly 42 per 100,000 people. Most famous missing person cases. Since 1970s, an estimated 20,000 people have vanished within this region. Missing congressmen. In 1972, the October 1972 twin-engine Cessna 310 carrying U.S. House Majority Leader Hale Boggs and Alaska Representative Nick Begich vanished during flight from Anchorage to Juneau. The search for 39 days, 40 military and 50 civilian aircraft searches, 325,000 square miles. The mystery, not a single piece of wreckage or any bodies are found. The Douglas military transport carrying 44 people. Yeah, your cat goes to that dimension with your socks. Mine does too. Mine does too. And mine likes to appear from there sometimes. The radar operator repeatedly noted that strange interference before the aircraft disappeared, and Operation Mike on the large joint U.S.-Canadian search effort involved 85 craft. No trace of the plane was ever located. Gray Frank Southerden, 1970s, a New Yorker who vanished while hunting trip. Decades later, a skull was found near the Porcupine River in the 90s with trauma, maybe fatally mauled by a bear. Hmm? 1986 Japan Airlines flight 1628 encounter. Okay, November 1986. The JAL Boeing 747 cargo flight was involved with one of the most credible UFO sightings ever recorded due to the duration of the corroborating data. The sightings, roughly 32 to 50 minutes. Captain Kenji and his crew observed 3 unidentified objects described as smaller ships with glowing amber thrusters, one with a massive mothership roughly twice the size of an aircraft carrier. Maneuvers. The object reportedly mirrored the 747 speed and direction perfectly, moving with instantaneous acceleration that defied known physics. Radar support. Anchorage, Air Force Control, and military radar initially confirmed an unidentified object proximity to the flight. However, the FAA later characterized the radar returns as split images or clutter to explain them away. Alleged cover-up. The FAA division chief Callahan claimed he presented the data to officials from CIA, FBI, and White House. He alleged that after the presentation, a CIA official ordered everyone to remain silent, saying this meeting never took place, and Callahan later leaked the original recordings to reporters to prove the event's authenticity. Hello, Vito Viper. Welcome to the stream. Hello there. Yeah, definitely. That's possible. I believe it, Tyler. You're welcome, Viper. Here are some survival stories about it. One of the most famous survival stories involved the 21-year-old Helen Calvin, pilot Ralph Flores. Their plane crashed in a building snowstorm on a mountain near the Yukon-Alaskan border. Hello, drama. Okay. So, on 82 Day Survival of Helen Calvin, one of the most famous survival stories involved the 21-year-old Helen Calvin, pilot Ralph Flores. Their plane crashed in a building snowstorm on a mountain near the Yukon-Alaskan border. And injuries. Helen had broken an arm, a broken foot. Ralph had severe facial injuries. The ordeal. They survived the 42 days, just 4 cans of sardines, 2 cans of fruit cocktail, and a box of crackers. After the food ran out, they consumed only melted snow for another 40 days. Escape. Ralph eventually stomped the SOS, and Snow carved a massive arrow pointing toward their campfire. A bush pilot finally spotted the glare of Ralph's single mirror. On the day 82, both lost significant weight but made the full recovery. Yeah, Tyler, at least once, maybe. Yeah. George Southendern's decades-long mystery, 1976. While not survival the traditional sense, this case is famous for finally being solved. Vanished while hunting near the Porcupine River. Discovery in 1997, a hunter found a human skull. In 2002, technology confirmed it was Gary. The reality. Forensic analysts shows that he hadn't been beamed up. He had been killed by grizzly bear. It served as a grim reminder that the triangle's paranormal reputation often masks the brutal reality of the apex predator. The distorted hikers. Many search and rescue teams in the Chukotch Mountains reported finding hikers who aren't injured but are completely lost placing in place to place. The phenomenon. Survivors often describe the sudden overwhelming sense of distortion where the forest looked identical in every direction. Tyler said they seem to be a bit wild. They don't always attack, or maybe it multiple races. Some of them zigzag fast. Our weapons are pure luck to them. Yeah, yeah, that is true. It does seem like it's an unpredictable situation. Yeah. Scientific tie-in. This mirrors the infrasound theory, where low frequency vibrations from the wind or geological shifts can cause panic and a loss of direction, leading to people to walk further into wilderness instead toward safety. Essential survival tactics used. Those who make it generally follow the stop rule cited in Alaska search and rescue experts. As soon as you are unsure of your location, stop, think, retract the steps mentally, observe, look for landmarks, clues like broken branches. Plan, decide whether to stay put or move toward the visible water source. We are almost getting close to the 1700 mark, almost 1700 subs. Almost there. Thank you, everybody. All right, so there is something called wood craziness, often referred to by survivors, experts as woodshock, is a profound psychological breakdown that occurs when a person becomes lost in the vast repetitive terrain of the Alaskan Triangle. In Alaska's dense boreal forests and jagged mountains, everything can begin to look identical, stripping away a person's sense of direction. Cognitive dissociance. This occurs when a person's internal mental map no longer matches the physical world. The brain efficiently short circuits, leading to a violent case of cascade of panic and irrational behavior. Rational actions. Search and rescue teams often find that victims in woodshock have done the opposite of what is logical, such as discarding warm clothing, ignoring clear landmarks, or even hiding from rescuers. Walking in circles. Without fixed point of reference, humans naturally tend to walk in circles, often favoring the dominant hand, reinforces the feeling of being trapped in an inescapable loop. Infrasound disorientation. Deep subterranean voids, when moving through the mountains passing, can create an infrasound, low frequency waves that are inaudible but known to trigger hallucinations, intense dread, and physical nausea. Magnetic anomalies. The region had some of the strongest magnetic distortions in North America, which can cause suitable inner ear imbalances, physical sense of off centeredness. Everything looks the same around you, solid white, freaking out. I bet that would be hell in the mind. But yeah, everything would be a psychological torture. That's what a lot of those like Vietnam and North Korean torture camps do. It's the and also our country does that too as well. Our country more than anybody with the different types of torture methods. Yeah, it's like MK Ultra for instance. Yeah, definitely psychological. Mother Nature can be quite mean. All right, for those in a mountain ranges, specific types of psychosis can occur due to oxygen deprivation. Extreme stress often manifesting as a third man factor, the vivid sensation of a visible companion walking beside you. All right, folklore legends often attribute to the sudden madness and extreme forces rather than internal psychology. All right, the Kushtaka, the Otterman. Legends describe that Kushtaka is mimicking cries of the loved ones to draw people deeper into the woods until they lose their minds. The vortexes. Some believe the triangle contains vile vortexes of energy that warp a person's perception of space and time, causing them to wander aimlessly into the moving straight line. And thank you, mods, keeping trolls in check. Yes, Mothman. It's a, it is a colonial hat, Mothman. but it's mostly, it's like a pirate hat, technically. But yeah, it's still the same thing as a colonial hat. When it's raining, this acts like a gutter system for me. Yeah. So I was in the rain. Well, Mothman, you are an omen also. Anytime something happens, you seem to appear, according to legends. I'm surprised that they caught you. You're supposed to allegedly be an experiment that got out. Okay, so a lot of those people are just lying when they say they see a Mothman before something happens. All right, all right. You have a right to your defense. You caused a bridge to collapse, apparently. And it's like people are driving in the middle of the night and they see you flying up ahead and you go, whoa. It's so apparently you get around, but it could just be exaggerations. All right, Roman, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, Mothman. Okay, I got you. I'll let it slide. I'll let that slide. Yeah, I seem familiar. Well, I am an alien from another planet, so I've been quite around different places. So maybe you'll see my flying saucer once or twice. Okay, Mothman, that's good. That is a good moth. We want want you to stay out of trouble. Yeah, right on, right on. Yeah, I go up in the air, go down here, go really fast, zigzagging. That is where I'm going all over the place. Yeah, well, thank you, thank you. So one of my friends knows somebody that a Mothman flew in his tree and it was sitting there on a tree cam, and I don't know, but I'm sure there's lots of Mothman impersonators out there that are trying to take credit. Oh, thank you, Roman. I appreciate it very much. Very nice. Uh, he said, "I like the 14th century swordman in France or a Spanish knight conquistador. Very cool." Well, thank you. I do have both of those in my ancestry. I have a combination of things, so I appreciate it. And post a video online. The video, it's actually a photo. I have it somewhere. I have to find it, but yeah, yeah. I'll post it again. Actually, I could pull this up right now. How about this? I can pull it up right now. There we go. I really can. I have the video saved. Actually, once. And Lindsay, I think at the moment just having a conversation, but keep an eye on him though, if he is. Thank you, Lindsay, for watching the chat. And the chat is within your hands. You know, if you feel what's best for chat is best for chat. So right now, there just seems like having a conversation, but at the moment, I don't think so at the moment. Well, you see, Lindsay likes to look out for me in the chat. I appreciate her trying to make sure chat is in check. Roman, I think Lindsay thought asking me if Mothman was spamming me, but I think at the moment Mothman's having a conversation with me about some things, or just joking around. I don't see that at the moment, in my opinion. Yeah, that is what I think, but wrong. Okay, so this thing is here, but it's way back in the past. All is good. Yeah, all is good. Okay. But thank you for checking up on me, Lindsay. I appreciate it. Okay, Mothman. Oh, peace. Thank you for chatting. But no, the mods trying to make sure that everything is going well in chat. That's all. I admire law and order. Yeah, yeah. We could all just sing a song, right? Right. I'm pulling up the Mothman picture. It's somewhere deep, deep in here. It's a little bit deeper than that. Oh, it was a while back. Well, I knew it was a while back, but it's even further back than I thought. Yeah, that's. Are you sure it's that far back, Alien? That's 4 years ago. I didn't delete the video. Well, that's back from the beginning of time. Okay. Yeah, Roman, definitely scary. Yeah, definitely scary. And I believe it's accurate. Like, that's like how it was when people actually experienced those things. So yeah, I do agree. Oh, I thought it was wild. I thought it was pretty wild with the sound frequency thing. Yeah, it was just. I'm not surprised about it because I study these type of things all the time. But to me, that seemed like, there is something there. I do believe there's a scientific explanation, and I believe there's another explanation that is supernatural. That's what I think. Roman said, man, when Ingrid was reading the random line from the random book in the hotel over the telephone. Yeah. Yeah, the suspense is like deadly. The suspense is deadly. Yeah. Tone, I know exactly what you mean. And I believe it is possible. I believe it is real in my opinion, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know if it's a really good idea to do it, but it's definitely tempting. Right. Okay, now Mothman left, but this is the Mothman creature that my friend's friend saw this on a tree cam, and it's allegedly a real Mothman sighting. And I was like, is it fake? But the person was saying it was 100% authentic. So this was like in a very high up tree, and it's very tall too. It's a very tall being. Could it be some sort of a Wendigo thing? I mean, a skinwalker type thing, like a witch or something? I don't know, but apparently this is a true Mothman sighting. It took me a moment to find it, but there it is. Kind of more of a distant picture of it. All right, so if that's at like a distance. Okay, so y'all think it may be an undiscovered cryptid because they're thinking it could be Mothman, but yeah, it definitely looks like it has like a hood or a cloak over its head. Yes. Yeah, so it could be an undiscovered cryptid. And yeah, it looks like it's a cloak over its head. And it's just kind of sitting there up in the tree. Yeah. Imagine looking at that in the middle of the night. You just look up in a tree and you see that. Scared. Yeah, so it's up to y'all what you think that is. But yeah. And it was the person that one of my friends that sent it to me was insisting that their friend was not lying. It was something real. Oh, they didn't. I don't know of it flying in the tree, but it's so high up. It had to have flown up there. That's the thing. The reason why the Mothman thing would make sense is because it's so high up in the tree. You know, it would have flying up there probably is how it got up there, and it's so big. It was taken, I'd say around 2 in the morning, something like that. I can go back and ask them the exact time since it's been about 3 years, but yeah, it was about 2, 3 in the morning. Yeah, yeah, it was something you would not want to come across. Yeah, it has some pretty big spooky eyes. Scared, scared. Yeah, yeah, bro. I completely vibe with that because I too, in the middle of the night, looking at something like that, I probably would have a small heart attack or something myself. I would keep my cool and keep calm and all, but the heart attack would be tempting to have. And when you see something, you look at that, you see that just those eyes is glaring at you like lasers, with like razor sharp eyes. Almost looks like a predator. Definitely terrifying indeed. I used to always want to encounter cryptids of some kind after watching shows about Mothman and all those cryptids. Yeah, I know it would be an interesting thing to see, you know, and to discover. But now, when you're actually in the moment, when you're actually there, it might feel a little bit different. Predator glowing eyes like that can conclude that thing here's raw meat. Oh, yes. Yes. It looks something almost demonic looking. It looks something, you know, very, very bizarre. Hello, Andrea. This is a pirate hat from the high seas, but it's the same thing as a colonial hat, too. Yeah, so. Oh, thank you, Andrea. Appreciate it. It's some stormy weather on the spaceship, so it was well suited for me. Yeah, Pirates rock. Absolutely. And I was having a journey into the woods, exploring the different parts. Arg, yes. Yo ho, a pirate's life for me. Yes. Hoist the colors. Yeah. And I have my crewmate right there, the skeleton right there. I would think a pirate's favorite letter is R, in my opinion. But what is their favorite letter? Mine is R. Yes. Yes, they love the F words, yes. Yeah, they definitely would say them a lot. Yeah, so that is my pirate companion. Yes, the pirates do like the sea too. Yeah. Yeah, I did the dad joke. All right. Doc, so what's the third man factor? Well, pirates are so mean because sometimes they run out of rum. So that's what makes them mean. And that was my joke. That was my joke to make it funny. But your joke is even better than mine. That they just are. Yes, yes, that's much better. Yeah, and see, my punchline is the reason why they're mean is because they ran out of rum, and rum starts with R. So there you go. So, although there is some mystery about them, that is the ambiguity about it. Yes, fair enough. Yes, fair enough. Hello, Holly. Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. We're talking about cryptids and all kinds of things. I just came back from a stormy garden. I don't think I've seen a cryptid in person. You know what? But I gotta show you a cryptid my friend saw. Oh, I think that is awesome that it's happening in Congress. I think it is a genuine innovation. That it's about time they do it, and I'm glad they're finally having that happen. All right, here we go. This was seen in a trail cam way up in a tree. Yeah, it's about time they do the disclosure to Congress because they've been hiding it for so long. And they have aliens.gov. And it is going to be really interesting to see what happens because hopefully they release all the information. Yeah, it was in a high up in a tree with a tree cam. Yeah, I know. I know. So this is we think a Mothman, but and also they claim that it's real, that it was like caught in a tree cam, like at 2 in the morning. Yes, yes. And we'll see what can be found of this. This was a couple years ago, but yeah. Yeah, so I don't see any wings on it, but that's what we thought was a Mothman. But it could be some other type of cryptid we're not completely familiar with. It could be a witch that had some powers that was able to doing some demonic things, I guess. But like, imagine you just like bro is just like chilling in the woods, like right there, and then he actually sees this staring at him. Yeah, so I absolutely think that it is a, a bizarre cryptid to see. Yeah, those are the eyes, and like as we talked about before, it looks like the eyes are glowing, and there's like a hood over its head. All right. Scared. Okay, and hello, Katie. Welcome to the stream. Around this time every day, we talk about these cryptids and stuff. Yeah. Hi, Katie. And that's why like we don't know everything that exists in the woods or cryptids or whatever out there. There's some things we just don't know about. Yes, Katie, that's what people thought yesterday. That's what people thought yesterday too. They thought my hat was the hair. Yeah, my hair is the same color as this. Yeah. Some people thought I was a Jimmy Neutron hair. I have like a bicycle seat on my head. Yeah. So there's something called the third man factor, a documented psychological phenomenon where people under extreme stress, such as climbers, explorers, survivors, sense the presence of an invisible person who provides encouragement and advice. Happens in the Alaskan Triangle. Those who encountered the third man describe it not as a ghost or hallucination, but vivid, comforting presence. Shadow companion. Often feels like someone is walking just a few steps behind or beside the survivor. Okay, what I think about the declassification is that I think that it's about time that they did it. It's about time that they did it, and it was concealed and hidden and lied about for many, many years. And I think that it's a good thing, although many people before me have said that A lot of times they'll say disclosure and it fails, but yeah, I'm glad that alien disclosure is going to come out. I want them to continue to do it, and I'm glad it's being talked about. I'm glad it's being more normalized in the media, and the alien, what you would call the aliens.gov is where they're going to release information on that website. So definitely be interested to see. Oh, glad that you agree, Katie. Awesome. And yeah, and usually, like earlier, I'd be in the garden and looking at the stormy plants and stuff, and I come back in here and we talk about cryptids. I do it every day. And, other, besides cryptids, talk about all kinds of different things. And a lot of people have told me about their alien encounters, and yeah, all over the world, people are seeing them everywhere. All right, these are experiences that during the third man incident people will have. Those who encounter a third man describe it as a ghost or hallucination, but a vivid, comforting presence. A shadow companion. It often feels like someone is walking just a few steps behind or beside the survivor. Verbal guidance. Survivors frequently report hearing a calm, authoritative voice giving them specific instructions, such as keep moving, put your gloves back on, etc. Physical presence. In some cases, people have even shared their limited food with the presence before realizing no one actually was there. Right, right. And yeah, so that is the mysterious helper that people experience, and it could be Bigfoot, or people may think it's, a Holy Spirit or whatever. But yeah, this is allegedly something that helps people on these in traumatic events. People will see these things. Yeah, there's somewhere called the Alaska Triangle where 20,000 people have gone missing. Right, 1924 Mount Logan expedition. While just across the oh no, this is Alaska, where this happened. This is over in Alaska. 1924 Mountain Logan expedition. While just across the border from, it's called the Alaskan Triangle. That's what the region we're talking about is. Solo hikers. The Chugach. Yes, yeah. Local search and rescue terms often hear stories from hikers who were lost for days. Survivors noted a man in the flannel shirt walked with him for miles, showing him ridges to avoid, only to vanish when a hiker reached the trailhead. Right, extreme life or death pressure left the right hemisphere. The brain may struggle to communicate. The brain may project its own survival instincts as an external voice to advice easier to follow. This is part of the brain senses of self and body position. High altitude, extreme cold, and exhaustion can glitch the TPJ, causing the brain to perceive its own body as a separate person standing nearby. Evolutionary coping. Humans are social creatures. Creating a companion may be a sophisticated biological defense mechanism prevent the total psychological collapse of woodshock. The dark flip side, the Alaskan triangle, not all. Okay, so Roman King BC says, that reminds me of the story where metal worker was pushing around a metal spool wheel and factory encountered a worker doing the same only to the find out the CCTV he was talking to a ghost. Ah, yeah. Yeah. That is spooky. It's very much like that. Oh, I've seen the documentary and parts of it, but definitely something I would go check out again. It's very good. Oh yeah, you haven't seen it yet. I've seen a lot of different alien encounter stuff. All right, and looking forward to seeing it when I have a moment of free time for month for my form. Oh yeah, yeah. A shout out to your shout out to your baby. It's good you're taking care of him. Oh, okay, they're calling. Well, yeah, I appreciate you hanging out with us. You have a great day too. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Katie. I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, shout out to the moms. That's great. All right, the dark flip side. The Alaskan triangle, not all presents are helpful, while the third man is seen as a savior. Many indigenous legends warn the Kushtaka mimics the exact phenomenon with malice intent, using a familiar presence to lure victims away from safety into the water. Tone. Okay. Tone, tell me about your experience. You mentioned it, but you didn't exactly say what happened. I'd like to know. Roman said, me and my mother had an experience back in '96 when picking me up at a friend's house on Friday evening. Oh, okay, Roman, you saw a UFO? Oh, that's very, yeah, definitely. I believe those are absolutely there, for sure. And let's see this. I'm scared. All right. And let's see. I, along with my sister, we were sitting outside. I watched the skies regularly, and I noticed this object flying. It was like a bright white and seemed like shape shifting as it flew. Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, something shape shifting in the sky is certainly a technology from another world, not from here. Yeah, okay, wow. Roman said, yeah, above his house, we looked at each other and thought it was weird, and we discussed it further back at the house, saying, was it a helicopter? But it was too close, shaped like a cross with no noise. Interesting, interesting. That's definitely an interesting UFO. And it was shaped of a cross. And okay, so, uh, yeah, I definitely think that those two events that both you experienced, Tone and Roman, were incidences of UFO encounters. Indeed, they're just something that was much more advanced than type of technology we have. Mhm. Massive glacier systems. The region is home to 100,000 glaciers. These rivers of ice are riddled with hidden caves and building sized crevices. If a hiker or small plane falls onto one, they could be buried by shifting ice and fresh snow almost immediately, making discovery nearly impossible. Rugged mountain ranges. The triangle includes parts of Alaska, Home, Delhi, and Chugach Mountains and Wrangell Mountains. These peaks feature vertical rock. Yes, yeah, and let's see. The tone says that was probably my first legit encounter. I've seen other things where I thought it was one, but it couldn't be for sure. Yeah, sometimes it might be other craft that isn't what we think it is. Like it might be from Earth origin. And let's see. Dense burrow forests. Dense burrow forest, also known as taiga. These forests consist of tightly packed spruce birch trees that create a repetitive, disorienting landscape where visible is often limited for a few yards. The treacherous lowlands. Large swaths of interior consist of barren tundra, swamps, and bogs. These areas are ground and can be deceptively and softly wrong. All right. We're gonna respect the mods. All right. We're not gonna be disrespectful to the mods, and not take things so personally. Right. And the forest consists of packed spruce birch trees, create repetitive, disorienting landscape where visible, often limited just a few yards. Treacherous lowlands. Large swaths of interior consist of barren tundra, swamps, and bogs. In these areas and grounds can deceptively soft, wrong, and can travelers into miles of impassable mud and frozen wasteland. Thanks, Sonny. Treacherous lowlands, large swaths. Okay, I read that right. Okay. Environmental factors. Instant whiteouts, intense snowstorms can hit without throughout the year, dropping visible to zero instantly, burying tracks before search and rescue teams can arrive. Infrasound valleys. The unique shape of valleys can funnel wind to create infrasound, low frequency vibration, cause physical nausea and physical dread. Roman says you should read the wiki on UFO incident and the Russian that downed in a map missile and wants to recover. It only gets attacked by UFO's occupants. Oh, okay, Holly. Well, prayers that get healing soon. Shout out to you, Holly. A downed UAP in Russia. Okay, thank you. I'll look into it. You're welcome. I'll look at the one that you speak of, another time, but I'll talk about some UFO incidents that happened in Russia. The lobby, okay. Now, here are some incidences. On January 3, 2023, Defense shot down a small ball-shaped object that was flying roughly 1.5 miles high. Description: this is not the same story he's talking about. This is another story. The Golubev, governor of Rostov, described it as telegram as a UFO, confirmed the object was destroyed by air defenses. Likely reality: while initially labeled UFO, some local media military analysts generally believe it was Ukrainian surveillance drone or balloon, given the ongoing conflict at the area. "2023 Congress hearing investigative journalist George Knapp submitted to statements dealing historical Russian encounters with UAPs, Soviet retrieval. Knapp alleged that 1989 Soviet Union retrieved large tic-tac shaped object spacecraft. The 1982 ICBM incident. He also detailed the terrifying 1982 event in the Soviet Union. ICBM base where UFO allegedly took control of nuclear launch codes, illuminating the fire indicators as the missiles were about to launch before suddenly deactivating and disappeared. The Peskov and Moscow UFO scrambles. Air defense units in western Peskov region neutralized unidentified object. Hello, T3. Publicly investigate the Gulf of Finland, and the object was never publicly identified, though military drills were cited as possible explanations. UFO helicopter. April 2025, more recently, reports emerged in Russian forces firing a mysterious spinning object over Moscow that was described to witnesses as UFO helicopter. It was later suspected to be a new type of long-range Ukrainian drone. That is interesting. Okay. All right, the aerial school incident in Zimbabwe, 94. Cold morning frost. Interesting. Well, I consider the most credible mass UFO sighting in history, in September 1994, 62 children at the aerial school Rua, Zimbabwe witness silver craft landed on the playground. Okay. There we go. Well, T3, that's certainly a UFO sighting of some kind. Okay. That was a weird. UFO. Okay. Children aged 6 to 12 described one large craft and several smaller ones hovering above the trees. They reported seeing one or two humanoid beings dressed in tight fitted black suits with large, soul piercing black eyes. Reminds me of the video involved current conflict Ukraine with the Russian was unloading UAP only to have the UAP unscathed and flying. I saw that. I remember that a couple years ago when it happened. Yeah, that was very scared. Expert investigation. Psychiatrist Dr. John Mack interviewed children, and they were all saying that it really did happen. Now, some of the aliens are known to look something like insects. By the way, yes, the mantis. Yes, the story that I just read was from Africa. It was a story of children that were in Africa in a school, and there was a UFO that came down. They saw the gray aliens, and to this day, they say that it was true. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Right. But the mantises are pretty big and scary looking, though. Those are. Oh yeah, it was Africa. Yeah, it was Africa where it happened. It was in 1994. Mhm. Often called South Africa's Roswell, this incident allegedly involved a UFO tracked on the military radar moving at over 5,000 p.m. toward the Kalahari Desert. Crash report suggests that South Africa Air Force used experimental laser weapons to down aircraft near the border of Botswana. Recovery allegations persists. The joint U.S. Air Force South African team recovered a dish-shaped craft and two living entities, which were then supposedly transported to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. What's on my head helps me on the high seas. That's what's on my head. Could be a mere bicycle seat or something else. Okay, let's see. Oh, thank you, Sonny. Thanks, chat. Oh, yeah. Oh, understood, Sonny. Yeah. Oh, it looked like it had eyes. I was scared. It might be an entity of some kind. Okay, let's see. I'm going to tell you all a cryptid story. It's about the giant of Kandahar. It was 2002, and we were tasked with finding a squad that had gone dark in a remote high altitude part in Kandahar province. We were taking a hike and hiking up the jagged goat path trail toward a massive cave entrance when the smell hit us first. It smelled like a morgue that had lost power. As we reached the mouth of the cave, the ground was littered with gear, broken radios, shredded boots, and human bone fragments. We assumed we were walking to an ambush, then the ambush stood up. He didn't just walk out, he seemed to unfold from the darkness. He had 12 to 15 feet tall. His hair was matted, fiery red. He had beard that reached his chest. He was wearing animal skins that looked like they hadn't been washed in a century. Before anyone could even process what we were looking at, the giant lunged, holding a spear, not regular spear, but a massive wooden shaft. It's actually the Afghanistan giant, technically, but yeah, close enough. Oh, hello, Shelly. Welcome to the stream. He impaled Dan, one of our guys, right through the chest, lifting him off the ground like he was a ragdoll. The sergeant screamed for us to open fire. We loaded everything: M4s, 308 snipers, M249 SAW machine guns for what felt like an eternity. Just seemed to disappear in his chest. He didn't even flinch. At first, it took 30 seconds to sustain fire, most of it directed to its face, but he finally crashed forward. When he hit the ground, the impact felt like a small earthquake. We stood there in total silence, looking at the thing. He had 6 fingers on each hand, double rows of teeth. Within minutes, the Chinook helicopter arrived with a specialized recovery team. They didn't question. They wrapped the body, massive tarp, hooked and pallet, and flew it out. We were told to sign NDAs, and if we ever spoke about the giant, our career and many more would be over. So with this, the giant of Kandahar. Oh, it means like it has a row of teeth and it has a row of teeth behind it. Now, this is very similar to the biblical accounts of the Nephilim, which were these very tall beings that were created from the fallen angel human hybrids. The theory is that, and it had 6 fingers. Ahoy, matey. Arg. Yeah. So that's what it had. It had 6 fingers, and it had 2 rows of teeth. And it was apparently a Nephilim type creature. Oh, Sonny, that's interesting. And all people, to some extent, could be related to these things very, 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 very distantly. So it's possible that some of these traits can come up in different people. So that's interesting, Sonny. Thank you. And they also were very tall. Like, the height thing comes from them. And the thought is that in these remote mountain systems in Afghanistan, from biblical times, it's stuck from like biblical times. These creatures are able to still stay there and exist. And yes, red haired. They were red haired. And they were able to be like monsters. So either some of them survived the flood somehow, or they were able to. The angels came back later and created more, or Noah had some of it in his bloodline with one of his daughters. So that is the explanation about that. So yeah, it has to do with the biblical Nephilim, and all over the world, like in New Zealand, over in the Americas, they talk about these giants. A lot of them were white and they had red hair. So that seems to be the case with this story. Holly says ducks down because I'm a redhead. Oh, scared. Oh, the reason why I would have two rows of teeth is because it's a mutation of some sort from the. I don't know if it had a purpose really. It was a. If it was eating something, I guess it had to eat something like human flesh or the flesh of an animal. That's probably what the benefit would be. Or it was just put there because it was a part of the mixing between the two different types of entities, the human and the fallen angel. But it definitely had to do with the stuff they eat. They're gonna eat all that. Like they'll pick up a goat and eat it. Like that's where the teeth would come from. Yes, Lovelock Cave, Nevada, right? Let's see. Yeah, so also it's in North American folklore. The other indigenous groups, there had red-haired giants with double rows of teeth were reported hostile to humans. 1800s newspaper rumored of fossils of seeing them. Right. And let's see what the hypothetical double rows of teeth would be. Yeah, and the Maori mythology, they talk about giants and with red hair, white people. Interesting. Interesting. All right. Hypothetical biological reasons for the double rows of teeth. This is a real medical where person grows an extra teeth. In extreme cases, these teeth can come from complete second row behind the primary set. Some theories suggest that the giants were distinct species like the Denisovans. They might have had genetic predisposition towards the trait. Like I just said, dietary adaptations. If giants were hyper carnivorous, consuming through unprocessed food like raw bones and fiber roots, A second row of teeth would provide increased surface area for grinding and back up set if the front row were damaged or worn down. The vestive evolutionary trait, the evolutionary theories that double rows seen as a trait that modern humans may have lost due to cooking or softer diets. A giant with a massive unshrunken jaw might still experience these ancient dental genes. It was because, they're eating sometimes humans and everything else, and lots of, they're carnivorous, so they're just going to is eat bones and everything else. Like, imagine like an animal with lots of thick bones to it. It's like it's going to be able to consume that. Right. All right, there's paradoxy causing the most common physical anomalies in humans occur about 1 in every 500 to 1,000 people. The Hox genes, or Sonic the Hedgehog gene pathway, where blueprints of where limbs and digital grow during the embryo. The polydactyl dominant genetic trait. This means that if a parent had specific six-fingered mutation, 50% of their children will have it. Biblical giants are described as having them. In New Mexico, they're described as giants. They were described as having them too. The blue Fugates, Kentucky, while famous for their blue skin, their isolated family also carried various rare genetic markers illustrating how anomalies traits thrive in the island. Small gene pools similar to the hypothetical hidden tribes of giants in the mountains. Okay, so the giant connection is signature trait, ancient non-human humanoid hominid species. Theory recessive trait occasionally express itself in modern humans, resulting person who exceptionally tail has extra digits. So that is the explanation about why they have multiple fingers and multiple rows of teeth. Now, oh, Shelley, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, it comes from, these traits, in my opinion, come from the Nephilim genes. And a lot of people, as I said, will have these type of genes passed down because, everybody at some point was related to some one of these things at some point, way in the past. So, yeah, those are just traits that were survived throughout, and it skips generations, and they just, because it survived the flood somehow, and they were still prevalent in some humans today. It's very mild traits. Interesting. Okay, and so yeah, that is the Kandahar Giant, and the question would be, so do you all think that something like this could be real? I think it's real. I think it's a complete cover up from what they were trying to originally say. Thank you, Romy King. He said it's a union between Nephilim and human trying to cancel each other out during the embryonic zygote process. Ah, okay. Yeah, because you have these two hybrid genes from different origins that are mixed together. Yeah, it's like they're trying to fight each other. Right. The hypothetical presence of giants in Kandahar or surrounding Hindu Kush Mountains is usually explained through a mix of geography, ancient history, and religious theory. The hidden Kush Mountains is one of the most rugged and inaccessible mountains on Earth. Isolations. With peaks reaching 24,000 feet, thousands of unexplored caves systems, theorists argue that it is one of the few places left where a relic of humanoid species could hide from modern civilization. Strategic overlook. Historically, these mountains have been crossroad of empires, yet no army, even Alexander the Great to the Soviets, has fully conquered remote tribal interior. And many giant hunters. Use in the Book of Enoch in the Bible suggests the Nephilim, offspring of angels and humans, are their descendants, fled eastward after the Great Flood during the Israelite conquest of Canaan. The Raphaim diaspora, after being driven out of the Levant by the figures like David, these lineages are hypothesized to have migrated ends of the earth, seeking refuge in high altitude, desolate regions like Afghanistan. The gatekeeper theory. In some paranormal circles, it suggests that these giants are just living there, but are guarding something. The rumor persists that the Kandahar caves contain Vinmas of ancient flying craft described as stargates. The Dark Pyramid. Just as people link the giants to the Alaskan Triangle, some believe these creatures are biological security guards of the subterranean base or ancient artifacts buried deep within the Afghanistan mountains. Indigenous dead folklore. Long before the 2002 U.S. military story of local Afghanistan folklore was filled with stories of the Dev monstrous cannibalistic giants, magical powers who lived in caves. Alexander the Great. Historical accounts from Alexander's campaign in the region mentioned. Okay, Sonny, have a good walk. Thank you for being here. Have a good one. Cultural memory. Skeptics argue that Kandahar Giant story is just a modern Western retelling of these ancient local writings about the dancing high mountains. All right, Alexander the Great's giants. While Alexander's primary record focused on military conquest, his letters and historians. I think that they should try that, and if they did that, the giants would come out. I do think that. Although they may be resilient to an explosion because it may not hurt them as much, but yeah. Or they might go deeper in the cave system. All right. Well, Alexander's records focused on the 1337 Sogdian, when Alexander besieged the unconquerable mountain fortress. The defenders mocked him in saying that they would need soldiers with wings, and Alexander used 300 specialist climbers to scale the sheer cliffs of the night. The mountain men, in his push toward India, Alexander's troop encountered troops that were notably taller than more physical, imposing Greeks, who averaged around 5'6". These frontier tribesmen, often through resilience and perpetuous valleys, leading to legends of him fighting monstrous warriors. Right, and the gates of Alexander. Later medieval legends, Alexander Romance claimed that he built a massive iron gate in the mountains, imprisoned unclean nation of giants, and further cementing the region's reputation as a cage of ancient dangerous beginnings. Book of Enoch provided specific landing sites for the fallen angels watchers. Mount Hermon. According to Enoch 6:6, the 200 watchers descended onto the summit of Mount Hermon and the border of modern-day Lebanon and Syria. They chose the mountain to swear a mutual oath to take human wives and teach forbidden knowledge. Origin of giants, their offspring Nephilim were said to be massive stone fragments from the Dead Sea Scrolls, and they claimed they grew so large that they consumed all of humanity's resources and eventually turned on humans and each other. Regal connection. While Mount Hermon was primarily a site, the text notes that the Watchers were eventually bound to the valleys of the earth until Judgment Day. Paranormal theorists link the Hindu Kush because it is extreme depth of the shared giant folklore of both regions. Okay. All right, and those are some backstories about the giants and the Nephilims. So they apparently still exist in certain cave systems and very high altitude places. All right, and let's see. I think at this point in time, the the stream is done for the day, so this would complete the garden life. And we had a good stream. We'll be on tomorrow, and which is technically we'll be on again later today, technically, which is our garden. So we'll do another garden live today or tomorrow, whatever it's called. And thank you all for coming. This was a pretty cool conversation. Everybody have a good day and peace.